Hey everybody, it's your buddy Eric. I'm going to go over this past weekend's vintage Doomsday deck list. Now, if we look at this list real quickly, we'll see that the 56 cards that everybody played, well, for the four players that made it to the top 32 of both events and the 5 list from the vintage league dump, uh, yeah, league dump, we'll see that there's no demonic consultation in the core. That's because one player chose to not actually play demonic consultation. Very interesting choice. Everything else is pretty standard. Forest Steel Sabotage back up to being common because there's lots and lots of shops out there. So let's take a quick look at these differences we have. All right, so now if we look at the main differences, we can see that yeah, we have two people on fetch lands, one on water grave, just extra island, which is actually not that bad of a choice made by Clone 9 here, because there are lots of players on Ghost Quarters in the shops deck, so it makes sense to me. I don't disagree with that choice at all. Now, what I don't understand entirely, and I would love to hear Clone 9's opinion on this, is why Demonic Consultation come on. I can see taking out Necropotence. I don't know sure how we're supposed to pronounce that, but anyway, I wouldn't. I can see dumping that because with all the Urza sagas out there and all the tokens being made, we take a lot of damage, and I've just found that like Necro drops, and I don't really have a chance to use it that well. So I can see dropping that, but not Demonic Consultation. You can see everyone else played it. Now, they were also on Treasure Cruise, which is pretty standard. X Shockwave X being on Peak, which is, a respectable choice. And then we have the same counter suite, changes that we've seen. Only Jig being on Pact of Negation. Most everyone else is on the standard Flusterstorm, Force of Negation, Dispute. The difference here mostly is that Clone 9 was a little bit lower on counter spells and instead had 2 copies of Opposition Agent main. Now I can see there being some value to that, especially with all the Urza sagas. With all these Urza sagas, more decks are searching, and you play Opposition Agent in response to that search trigger, you can steal one of their good artifacts. That's great. If you get a Black Lotus to, play your Doomsday, if you don't have a Dark Ritual, or use the Dark Ritual on Opposition Agent to slow them down, that's fine. But I'm still not 100% convinced we want to be on Opposition Agent at the moment, just because we need to go very, very fast. And Doomsday does not win by reducing the opponent's life total to 0, so creatures are not that great of a choice here. Now let's take a quick look at the sides. Sideboards here, fairly standard. Jig is still ignoring Bazaar decks, just saying, you know what, I'm either going to win or lose, just go very fast because they go fast, and just don't waste time on Leyline of the Void. I respect that, I really do. I think it makes sense. Instead, piling up on Force of Negations and Steel Sabotages for the shops matches, 2 Null Rods for the artifact heavy Tinker decks, and then just Thoughtseize has various good removal against bug and decks like that. Cavern of Souls, I get their argument for Cavern of Souls being against Pyroblast decks. Seems fairly good, but I haven't had the situation come up where it's been great. Pact of Negation, on the other hand, has been kind of cool. I don't know if 3, one in the main and 2 in the side is as high as we need to be going, but it's a very interesting choice, and it does have its value. But I find sometimes they get a little cluttery. But then again, you're pitching them with Force of Negations or Force of Wills, so that's not too bad. Other than that, there's nothing too wild. I'm not sure why X Shockwave X is on the 2 Tabernacles. That seems really in on that, which, again, it doesn't do too much against the Holgak decks, which we see a little bit more than Dredge generally, but Dredge has been a bit of a tick up, so who knows, it might be the right call going forward. Other than that, I don't see too much, that we can talk about here. Just the Null Rod is getting more and more common, just if you want to run 1 copy or 2. And people are playing this card in some variety. Thoughtseize obviously being good against that green guy. Wow, what's the green one called? I'm totally blanking on it right now. Endurance. Green's good against endurance, so we can take that to win. But other than that, I'm not too sure. Tesker is definitely a weird choice currently, but I mean, like, it's not bad if you're going in on the attacking playing, and Clone 9 was playing the main opposition agent, so I can see that it's an option. And Tessiger has been good in the past, but I'm just not sure if it's Tessiger's time right now. All right, anyway, thank you very much for watching, and everyone playing in the Vintage Challenges this weekend, good luck to you.